Good evening. It is 6:01, and I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Lake Worth Community Redevelopment Agency for Tuesday, January 14th to order. Roll call, please.
Miss Donna Kerner,
Here.
Miss Ann Fairfax, Mr. Daniel Morgan,
Here.
Mr. Drew Bartlett,
Here.
Miss Caroline Shamshi Basha is not present, Miss Leah Furch is not present, and Miss Carla Blockson.
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In reviewing our agenda, do we have any additions, deletions, or reordering?
Madam Chair, I have a deletion,
Okay.
and that would be the Inhabit project update.
Okay.
Thank you.
She didn't have anything. Okay. Now we're going to have public comment on non-agended items. If you would like to speak on a non-agended item, please come to the podium. No takers, huh? Okay. I like this meeting. We are now going to have a review of our minutes from November 10th, 2024. Please look over your minutes. If you see any corrections, please let us know, and then we'll have a vote. And then I'll be looking for a motion.
Motion first and then correction. We're just gonna blurt out that I wasn't at the November meeting. And there's an action where I'm the person making the motion. On roll call. It's not working.
You want to point out the
The
paragraph?
action when motion to it states the motion was made by Mr. Morgan to allow Commissioner Bartlett to participate via Zoom, seconded by. No, it's not
Okay.
Josh. I think that was
Beginning.
the meeting before that. Where we did something like that, but not at November.
Okay. And you'll make that correction. Okay. Does anyone notice anything else? I'm waiting for a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we will have a presentation by W. Moda, an update.
Number 8.
Is she-
Letter 8. David Tulsa's Board Attorney, you've got presentation, Lake Worth Playhouse check presentation, item A, before the W motor.
I know, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm sorry. Lakewood Playhouse check presentation.
That's right. So as many of us know, the Playhouse was built back in the 1920s. It is the oldest building on the Register of the Art Deco Society.
Please give me attention.
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hi, Emily, Lake Worth Beach CRA. It's like it's my first time, right? Built in the 20s, the Playhouse is one of the oldest buildings on the Art Deco Society of Palm Beach County. It's celebrating its 100th year. And this evening, we would like to honor them with a check. They are running a capital campaign to buy some new seats for anyone that's been there. Who's been to the Playhouse? I have. They could use some new seats, right?
I bought
We're
one.
going to be presenting them with a check as one of our art and cultural partners. And this evening we have Miss Shoshana Davidowitz. She is the new executive director, and Michael McKeach. He is the president of the board. If you would like to come up. We'd like to present you with a check for $6,000 to purchase 4 seats in the auditorium. It's yours. Thank you. Guys, don't mind standing in front there. Carla, would you mind everybody come on down? We can take a quick shot.
They're gonna look like they were made in 1924, but with 2024 comfort.
Very good. If any of you are interested in donating to the capital campaign, please don't hesitate to email me and I can share.
Now we will have the update from W Moda is.
And
they
I'm
available?
gonna do it, just
okay.
because it was brief. For those of you who may not know, W Moda will be opening its doors on January 21st to the 25th. They're calling it Lake Worth Week. And they are inviting everybody to come down during that week to visit the museum free of charge. If you would like to go, you could please let us know. And we can send you the information for the invite where you can get an Eventbrite ticket, or you can look at our Facebook page or in the W Moda newsletter. And then just really quickly, I'm sure some of you probably are following the critical timeline that we have for W Moda. This month, we were going to have a couple of the agreements on the agenda. We're actually taking just a few more weeks to look through them a little bit more with all of our attorneys. There's a lot of people involved in it. So we will be bringing that back to you in February instead of January, but we are still on target. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, question. Are those the 4 agreements?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Precinct C Inhabit project update. That's the one that we just, okay. So consent agenda is Habitat for Humanity property purchase for sale 204 Southeast Street. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve, CRA board approve the purchase and sale agreement for 204 Southeast Street with Habitat for Humanity.
I'll second.
And on consent agenda, we're just going to have a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Our
One nay.
action,
No. Yeah. The board.
any nays? One nay. The action agenda, we're gonna look at separate, commercial grant applications.
Yes,
Take it away.
good evening, Christopher Bros, Lake Worth Beach CRA. Over the last 2 months, we got a couple of real good grant applications in to the office to review. There's gonna be 3 of them here that I'm gonna basically give a brief description of each one. And then open up to any questions, either to myself or to the applicants that are here today. And then we'll be looking for 3 separate motions. So we'll go over the first project. It's at 702 South Dixie Highway. That's for Burns Guillaume Law Office, law firm. That's gonna be a new project, a $4 million project. New construction, 10,000 square foot office building, 2 stories in height, going at the corner of 7th Avenue South and South Dixie Highway. Currently, like I said, it's a vacant lot. They're looking to expand their practice. They have requested to offset the cost of the project by applying for grants in the total amount of $100,000. Next project is at 406 Lucerne Avenue. This is on the corner of Federal and Lucerne. Used to be the old it's a drugstore and a bank at one time. It's been sitting empty for the past 20 years. It's a renovation project by Mr. Paul Weimer, who purchased the property of the building last year. He's looking to renovate it. It's about 3,000 square feet on a 1/3 of an acre property to turn into workspaces, shareable
Co-working.
workspaces, communal workspaces. he is in permitting for that. He hopes to get started. It's about a $500,000 project. He hopes to have that done by hopefully the end of this year. Last project is 11th. He's also asked for 100,000. Each of the applicants asked for 100,000. That's 50,000 from the facade grant program, 50,000 from the interior grant program. And the last project is 1132 North Dixie Highway. That used to be the old Christine's, the old blue front barbecue building on the corner of 12th and North Dixie. It's also sitting empty for a long time. Mr. Martin Sprock has purchased that property. He's been renovating it for the past year or so, and he's hoping to get it completed this year to turn into Ruru's. Ruru's is a small chain located in Charleston and Charlotte, and he's looking to do a restaurant down here. It's upscale or high-end Mexican cuisine with the tiki hut, outside, indoor and outside seating. That's about 6,000 square foot building. And so far, I don't know how much he's ready to invest into the project, but he's looking to spend at least another $500,000 into the project to get it completed, hopefully by later this year. We've been working with Martin for his Ruru's project since 2023. We've been working with Burns Guillaume on his project since early last year. We did a community online community meeting to share so that the public knew that the project was taking place down there. And Mr. Weimer's project at 406 Lucerne. It's like I said, just a renovation project, but he came into our office at the end of 2024, and we really liked what we saw. And we want to get all these projects onto this agenda so we can have you guys review it and hopefully make 3 separate motions. That's all I have.
Before we have our motions, do you have any questions for the owners? I believe they're here. So do you have any questions for them? If you do, then we'll ask them to come up separately for your questions.
I actually do of Mr. Paul Weimer on the 406 Lucerne Ave, the co-working. So if I could.
Please come up.
How you doing? So basically, I like the idea, but I had a few questions about it. Just one would be, in terms of market analysis, did you do one, and what did it show about the market and the demand?
Yeah.
And I'm asking only because, well, for a couple of reasons, but there have been these co-working examples, and I love them all over the world. But here, they've been tried, and they've sort of haven't gone off with much of a bang.
Yes.
And so it also, I wanted to know about the rent, the tenants you hope to attract, and I saw you said professionals, and then the rent that you're going to be charging. Thanks.
What I want to do is I want to have my own office as part of this as well. So I'm in the real estate business, different aspects of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Paul Weimer for 406 Lucerne Avenue. And the concept is I bought this building because I liked the location, and this thing has been an eyesore for 20 years. But I just was kind of enchanted with it, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. And I don't know if I would really call it a market study that formally, but I have visited all the local shared office spaces. There's one on Lucerne that was an old hotel, an old Hummingbird Hotel, which seems quite occupied. And I can't say this is a scientific market study I've done, but I've been there quite a few times, and I've checked rents there, and I've seen that it's quite well occupied. And they also said that they didn't have space for me. So that was a pretty good sign. And then there's another one across the bridge on I forget the name of the building, directly across the bridge on Palm Beach Island. That is also quite expensive and quite well occupied. And I was pretty shocked by the rates there. I think those are the 2 closest ones. But my idea is to have something that has more visibility. I've also studied the larger ones in West Palm Beach. They're also very well occupied, and they are quite expensive. And they don't offer these tenants any sort of street presence. And this little building has quite a bit of traffic coming by. And I think if we do it right and we get the right tenants, and hopefully they would be somewhat real estate related or real estate adjacent. It could be insurance, it could be title companies, it could be graphic designers, it could be a real estate broker, which would probably be me. And I think it would be businesses that would benefit from the street traffic, because normally when you're renting a shared office, you're in the 10th floor of some building in West Palm Beach, perhaps, or there's no signage. And I think that building has the attraction of having if you have a small business, you might have a little bit of signage or street presence. That's the idea. There'd be 9 private offices and then some shared desk space in the middle, probably for analysts or junior employees of these different tenants. And I think these little offices would rent for somewhere, again, this project may not be completely economically feasible in terms of return on investment for me. I think for the city, it'll be great. But I think these little offices, from what I've seen, would probably rent for $1,200 to $1,500 a month. And I think they'd be pretty cool, actually.
And let's say if somebody, a lot of times too with co-working, you can rent it by the week, or, somebody just wants to get some work done for those, set number of days. Would you also have that option?
Yeah, I think, no, I don't, I want it to be more community oriented and a little bit longer term. But I think for some of that internal space, maybe not those private offices, people coming and going. But yeah, there would definitely be an opportunity if you see in those plans, like the main desk in the middle.
Exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering, because I
Yeah,
saw the
those
open
people can
area.
come in, and we also have a pretty nice conference room planned out. I could see people coming by for a day, maybe to use it for a deposition or to use it for a presentation. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions?
No, I'm thrilled to see that moribund site get a little life. We have quite a few of them in Lake Worth, and this is, I think, exactly what we're set up to do, is to support people who take the risk and develop and like the town, and will create something that will attract other good people. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
All right.
I'm very close to you. I'm at 202 North Federal. I have a building there, so I'm looking for a good tenant.
Which one is that?
It used to be an old grocery store, actually. It's on Second Avenue North.
Okay.
It's it's hiding in plain sight. It's a low, flat building.
Oh, it's white.
It's white.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
the building. Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, looking for a tenant.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions of the other
I
other
do.
owners?
I do actually,
Mhm.
on the, on Ruru's. So I'd love to ask a couple of questions. How are you? Good, I'm good.
Good. I am Dan Gorman here for Martin, who's a good friend. Unfortunately, he apologizes. He had an opening in Charlotte of one of his restaurants,
Okay,
so he's
nice.
not able to make it down, but I do a lot of things.
It's
with him,
okay. We'll
so.
take you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. So,
Yeah,
this is Pat, the contractor on the project,
okay.
so.
No, first I was like, Daniel Player Biltong, and I've had Player Biltong before, so I
Yeah.
wasn't, yeah, it's good.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully
good.
This is on TV all around
It's good.
all around town. and-
It will be
That's it.
internationally. The former Blue Front is near and dear to my heart because I used to spend a lot of time there. I live a
Yes.
block away. It was just really so unfortunate that they couldn't make it. So I'm just looking at this, and my first question is like, who's going to run this restaurant? Because Blue Front was actually purchased by, I don't remember the gentleman's name. I was there for like the soft opening years
I
ago.
think it was David Palladino.
And he was the guy that,
Yeah.
pretty much like designed, revamped West Palm Beach, right? And
Yes.
I think his son was
Yes.
ran it. And
Yes.
I don't want to say he ran into the ground, I don't know. But it was just didn't work at a certain point. So it's really unfortunate. So just wondering, like, who's going to run this? What's the pricing going to be like? The service, the tiki bar is awesome. The bar was amazing. Some of the food was great. So I'm just wondering if you could like go into this a little bit more. And in this town, I'd hate to say it, but it's like when I worked in Kosovo, it was also like, oh, a new place would open. It would be like, oh, is this going to be pasta pizza? That's a bad joke. Every place was pasta pizza.
Right.
Here, it seems like everything is about, oh, it's another Mexican restaurant, and most of them don't make it. So they're either overpriced or they just don't get the clientele, or I don't know what happens. Bad management, the cocktails are too expensive. So just was wondering, like, if you can just give a little bit of a sense of how you're going to
Absolutely.
deal with this, like
Absolutely. So.
the environment, the economy, the clientele, and all that.
Without a doubt.
Thanks.
So if anybody has met Martin is a, very
Serial
seasoned
restaurateur,
restaurateur.
franchisor. I think.
Franchise.
Yeah.
So if you ever heard of Moe's Southwest Grill,
Yeah.
Martin started that and built that up to, I don't know how many hundreds of locations.
Yeah.
And then eventually sold that. He has the three different venues now, one being Ruru's, with one very successful in Charlotte, another one in Charleston, looking to expand on beyond that. Another one called Kid Cashew, which is great, and the Flying Biscuit. So those are all online. You can go and see their websites and such. So these are kind of mid-range, not over the top expensive restaurants. They're fun, traditional. You can go online. I didn't bring a menu with me. I apologize.
It's okay. I checked them out online
Okay.
too, but when I saw like upscale Mexican cuisine, that just kind of like put the idea in my head, like, who are we trying to get? I know the idea is to like try to attract the condos that are just up the road.
Well, correct. It's the one nice thing, it's on the north end where there tons of people are moving into, and there's really, nothing up there. You have, Jafar, Flavor of India, and really the line's almost right there.
Yeah.
So one of the hopes is, to keep people, who are in those buildings, instead of making a left and, visiting West Palm Beach, we want to keep them down on this end and then, move them down the way on there. But it's going to fit right in with the, the economic picture of what Lake Worth Beach is. I think with the upscale, I know that word kind of connotates, but, I think it's as opposed to, these cantinas that are out there. So just a little more formalized, that's out there. The one nice thing about it too, I think one of the things, you said it never really worked, the other places that were there. I loved Blue Front, loved their bar. The bar will be very similar. So attract a lot, the room, brand new tiki hut. But one thing Pat did, which is great, it's basically almost quadrupling, definitely tripling, almost quadrupling the parking. And the biggest problem with that was there were 2 parking spaces and I think 1 handicap space.
Yeah.
And then on top of the parking that's there, there's already arrangements in place to, valet anything that comes off there. So, Martin thinks of things from A to Z, he knows if, women are coming by themselves, if they don't have the ability to park, they want to do that, or, vice versa, whatever it is of people. So he's kind of covered all the bases on there. And it's, like I said, it's a proven entity,
Yeah.
Between the other locations that are there. So we're very excited to, to have it here and hoping to get it done as quickly as possible. And most of it's being completely renovated.
I saw you're going to
Right.
put in like a really nice big capacity AC,
Yes.
You-
I'm
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
like a large capacity AC. That's like, that'll help too.
Yes.
And then how about music? Because that was another like big selling point with Blue Front.
I don't know how many days a week, but there will be a lot of entertainment. That will obviously come up with scheduling and all of that, but entertainment's a big part of everything that all the restaurants do, because that's what attracts people, obviously, in all the places downtown. So I think it'll be a great addition to, the other options here in town. But I think, with the additions of the parking, and, the inside being renovated, the air conditioning being renovated, the kitchen being renovated, it was in bad shape. So.
I sort of ran into the ground, but the garden was amazing.
The garden was amazing, yeah. So again, if you look online and you see all the things that Martin has done, they've all been top notch, locations, and he's not looking to differ from any of that.
I loved Blue Front. I'd go often. And then one day I came and whoever was taking care of the garden had just whacked the garden way back, and it immediately lost all appeal for me. The jungle aspect is something we don't have anywhere else that I've ever been to in Palm Beach County. I would load it up with every kind of jungle plant you can think of to really emphasize it's a unique feature. I think that really sets it apart. I'd love to see it come back in full swing.
Absolutely. And we'd love, comments, and, we can get directly to Martin too, with all of you, with any comments. That you
Yeah.
have.
I think the community loved that garden.
Absolutely. And he doesn't want to differ from me. He knows what worked, he knows what didn't work, so we want to change what didn't work, but obviously keep what did work.
Great.
To make it a success, because, it's looking to add on to, the ones that are there, and failure's not an option.
Great.
I'm very pleased that we're having a building on Dixie,
Yes.
on the Dixie corridor.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for doing that, because we really need to work to have as many businesses there to appeal to the people on the north end as well.
Absolutely.
We spend so much time on downtown that we kind of forget Dixie, and Dixie is also part of the CRA. correct? And so we're really happy that we're able to do a project with the CRA on Dixie Highway. I think that that's outstanding.
Well, thank you.
So welcome to the city.
Thank you very much. We're excited about it. And like we said, we want to keep people to the right.
That's right. That's right. Did you guys have any questions?
So does he own the building? Did he purchase the building?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So he's invested.
Fully,
And
fully invested, trust me.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's already, I don't know what you say, 400,000 spent somewhere around there. Yeah, already spent about 400,000.
wow.
You're just saving the structure.
Yeah,
I mean, I went in
incredible.
there when it was first done and, you know, obviously some vandals got in, once it was all closed up, but there was a big dip in the kitchen and the back wasn't enclosed and
That's a problem.
This goes into 2 feet of water. That's already been all sealed up, Rusted
Yeah.
up, yeah. Like the Tin Man, I had to go there with some oil to get him out of the building.
So how about all the city approvals and everything? Is that?
We have
Go.
permits, so
Good.
they're all set. We've just kind of held off for, this meeting,
Gotcha.
especially on the interior.
Uh-huh.
We're ready to roll. I mean, Pat's guys are there, but everything that's on the application with the CRA it's all set to go.
It's just finishing his site plan and in the bars and plants, there's a lot of trees and a lot of plants going back in there.
Great.
And a lot of trees.
Oh, perfect.
And we'd love
We
to,
fought them on that, but we lost, so we're putting a lot of trees.
Natives, I
Native
have,
trees, yeah.
native trees, yes, native
Yeah.
trees, the tree board chairman over here.
Okay.
Wants the native trees.
well, we will stay in touch and we'd love input and stuff because we want to keep that, like we said, we want to keep what works, what drew people to that.
Yeah,
And a new tiki hut out there. And like I said, the parking's a huge thing. because
Parking,
that
yeah,
was-
that's big.
That was the death of that place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're looking for 3 separate motions. Let's take a motion on A.
I need 6 separate motions. There's 2 grants for each.
Well.
No.
No, I think they
Or
could,
can we do both
I
of
can
them
buy
I think
together?
if you specify the grants for each property, I think we'll be okay with that.
And just, you didn't want to speak to the last applicant at all, right, Mr.
No,
Project?
they didn't have any questions. They didn't want to grill them.
That one's like that's really straightforward. It's a really great project.
I'm looking for a motion on A.
Then motions, looking for the wording, I'm sorry. We
Yeah.
3.
So it's
First would be,
Is your mic on?
motion for 702 South Dixie Highway for both grants. And sorry, I should look at the language. Could you help me out on that one? Yeah, thank you. So recommend the CRA board approves. No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You handed me something from the, where's the language on this one?
So it would be a motion to grant the property owner at 702 South Dixie, the commercial facade grant amount not to exceed 50,000 in reimbursable matching funds.
Got it.
Yes.
And a interior improvement grant in the amount not to exceed 50,000 in reimbursable matching funds.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. So should I repeat that or should we just say,
You just say as.
what he's.
okay,
Yeah.
what he said, yeah.
What he
Motion,
Yeah.
yeah, motion
good.
for approval of 2 grants, one not to exceed 50,000 reimbursable matching funds from the commercial facade grant program and not to exceed 50,000 reimbursable matching funds from the interior improvement grant program. So that's a total of $100 in matching funds for this project, which is 702 South Dixie.
100,000, not
100,000. What did I say?
$100.
Oh, no, 100, yeah. Put a couple of zeros after that, yeah.
Okay, can we have a
100,000.
second?
I'll,
Second,
I'll give a second.
Thanks.
okay, now, we can have a discussion. Do you have any items you have to discuss for discussion? Okay, anyone else? I'm sorry. We have public comment on this. Do we have anyone who'd like to make a public comment on this issue before we vote? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, passed unanimously. Now we're looking for a motion on item B at 406 Lucerne.
Want me to do this one?
Same
Read it.
language.
All right, I make a motion to approve two grants, a $50,000 commercial facade grant and a $50,000 interior improvement grant, both reimbursable for 406 Lucerne Avenue.
Looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. The only discussion I have for all three of these grants is they're at $100,000 each, by 50,000 for the facade and 50,000 for the interior. Our entire budget is 400,000 for the year, and we have to have that through May. So we're spending the money lickety quick. So, but I've been assured that there may be some items from last year that did not go through, that we may have that money, or we may be able to find other ways in the budget if we exhaust all of our money before we get items before May. So I'm assured that if there are any small grants, they still may be able to be considered, and we have $100,000 less left. So that was my only concern about doing these grants.
Thank you.
That was my discussion. Do we have any public comment on this item? If you'd like to make a public comment, please step up. Okay, thanks. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? It passes unanimously. Thank you. Let's work on item C for 1132 North Dixie Highway. Can I have a motion?
I'll jump in on this one. I'll make a motion to approve and funding not to exceed $50,000 in reimbursable matching funds from the commercial facade grant program, and not to exceed $50,000 in reimbursable matching funds from the interior improvement grant program. Total $100,000 in matching funds for this project, which is 1132 North Dixie.
Second.
And do we have any discussion? We will now open it for public comment on this item. If you'd like to make a public comment, please step to the podium. Now we can vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? It passes unanimously. Thank you. We're to the Executive Director's report.
Okay, upcoming Habitat for Humanity events. First, let me just go backwards a little bit. We recently had groundbreakings for 223 South E, 406 and 408 South C. Those will all be getting new homeowners here in Lake Worth. We have a private equity build with Habitat that's on January 24th at 6:15. That's here in Lake Worth. We also have the women's build that will be here March 6th and 7th, where not only do they build new homes, but we also go into the neighborhoods, as some of you may remember, and paint and do landscaping and do some rehab on other homes in the area. At the Hatch Gallery, we have on Thursday a werewolf marketing at 9 a.m. The discussion will be around automation and technology for small businesses. That will be at, I don't know if I said this, at 9 a.m. We also have Artists of Palm Beach. They're having their closing over at Hatch on January 29th. If you haven't seen that exhibit, it's up right now and it's excellent. We have Art Wars that's coming in February 15th from 6 to 10 p.m. That's an amazing event if you haven't been before. We have a number of artists that compete right there and paint right in front of you, and it's a competition. It's very exciting. And last but not least, I am very, very happy to share with you that last year, 2023, we applied with Riviera Beach for the Pro Housing Grant. We did not receive it. We applied again, and I swore I was never going to apply again. But we were one of, I think, 15 communities from the United States that got the grant, and it's $4.4 million.
Now,
Well, that's shared
For
with Riviera
affordable
Beach.
housing.
That's shared with Riviera Beach.
It is, yes.
And
That's wonderful.
is it divided equally, or will you combine on a project? How would that grant work?
We are the lead, so we will be getting a little bit more than them, but we'll be close to 50-50.
Okay.
Both communities really need it.
Wow, that's great.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you to my staff for all their help.
You know, we don't realize how much this small staff really does and how it benefits the city of Lake Worth Beach. So kudos to you all, because I know that it's a lot of hard work that we don't realize. We just see the end product. But thank you very much for that. We have board member comments. Let's start with Ann.
Oh, gee, put me on the spot here. I'm-
I
I'm-
couldn't do Daniel. Daniel can't be
I'm
first.
really thrilled with the grants today. I'm sorry we're, busting our budget a little bit, but these are very high profile properties, and especially the one on Dixie on 7th Avenue. That's a bit of a blighted area, and I think having a high profile business like that is a super good sign. I'm, really excited about I love tacos, so you can't wait to eat at Bluefront, old Bluefront. And as I said, I'm quite close to the co-working place. So I think what are there, 9 offices that will bring some vitality to downtown during the day, and that's something. It's just every little bit helps. So I'm just really excited. Good job to the staff bringing those on board.
Donna?
I totally echo Ann's comments, and you left out not only tacos but tequila.
Oh,
That's
tequila.
a huge plus. Yeah, love that. And also, yeah, great presentations. I love the check presentation to Lake Worth Playhouse. You guys have already left, but it'll be wonderful to see all the new chairs there. With Inhabit, is that going to be on the agenda for next month? The project update? Is it any good news? Foreshadow good news?
They've started.
All right, that's good news. Yay. Yeah, and really also really happy with all the grant applications, really solid and can be welcome additions to this town. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the hard work. And again, congratulations on the HUD grant.
Yes.
You guys too.
Yeah, so thanks, Chris, for getting those applications to us and processing those. I mean, that is great news on that grant. Applying for federal grants is a chore, and it's a lot of work, and then the back and forth is a lot, and then getting them and administering them is a lot too. So we'll have that, but it is, but wow, I mean, this small staff bringing in that kind of revenue for the 2 cities that's why we're glad you're here, right? So thanks for doing that. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with my colleagues that the grant, getting the grant for the city is amazing. I have some issues with this determining whether or not this is the best approach of purchasing up lots and houses and bringing them over. I feel there's maybe not within the CRA, but the city, county, something like that to bring some relief to the housing crisis. I don't know if this is the best approach, but of course, any money of this sum is very welcome for a city, of course. I'm very excited about the grants going out to these businesses, especially the one 702 Dixie. I wish them the best of luck, because that is a tough little part of town. Yeah, and I like how they're kind of spread out and we're kind of really bringing pieces together, and I hope they have a lot of success and we can have places where individuals here in the city feel like they don't have to go out of town to go to somewhere they really like. And I think hopefully we're getting closer to that. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
First, I wanted to wish Mark and Judy Easton well. They published their last paper of the Lake Worth Herald, and we are so sorry to see them go, and hopefully someone else will step in to take their place. But he says he's going to go fishing, and they've been doing it for generations. The family has been in this business at the Lake Worth Herald for generations. So they certainly deserve a break, and Mark and Judy have been there a long time. So I want to wish them well and know that we're thinking about them. For the seats for the Playhouse, I've been going from each organization that I belong to and asking them to donate at least $1,500, you know, towards that project. And so I'm hopeful that the people in the audience and the people listening to us on YouTube will look to, if you have any extra money, and they may be willing to let two groups go together in groups of 750. I think they would be happy for however you'd like to make your donation. But it is certainly a much needed and worthwhile project. I wanted to talk about Luminaries, which is an event that is going to be for the City of Lake Worth Beach 2025 Literacy Luminaries. And what it is we're raising money for the Lake Worth Beach Library. And they're going to have a function on January 25th at the library. It's a Saturday and it's going to be at 6 p.m. So please contact the library if you would like a ticket. They're also hoping to get sponsors. And if you are a bronze sponsor for $500, I think you get 2 tickets, and you get 4 if you pay a little bit more money. But any organizations that would like to sponsor this endeavor, please contact Cindy Ansell at the library, because this is a worthwhile project and it ultimately benefits the library and the people that visit it for the City of Lake Worth Beach. And that's all I have. And so I think I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
What time is it?
We crushed.
This is a record. So thank you very much for coming. Yes, yes. Would you guys like one of these?
Yeah, it's on my calendar right now.
Yeah, they're gonna have food and music and everything, so it should be really nice. Mm.
Purchased.
Appreciate it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, me too.
Thank you, thank you.
Seeing you guys.